So people always ask me about the beef between the Hoovers and the Hood neighborhood. I'm from San Diego, so first of all, that's how it is in LA. And I know, if somebody from Hoover was to see me, I would automatically be an enemy because I'm from neighborhood, but I'm from San Diego. So, it's a, we ain't really tripping. And, we didn't, San Diego, we try not to, not to have Crip on Crip violence, because we're outnumbered, like 5-1. The Bloods outnumber us 5-1 in San Diego. So we try not to do that. As far as the Hoovers go, the Hoovers used to be Crips and now they're criminals, so they're not Crips anymore. So I don't know how that would go. But I don't see no Hoovers coming down to San Diego. Pushing no line, telling nobody. I just don't see it. It's not. I don't see it happening. But it's been Hoover's people from Hoover that was down here, and I know one of them. Rest in peace, my partner Daffy, and Daffy was from 7-4 Hoover, and he was an OG, and he passed. But we he was I know the Hoovers and the Hoods ain't supposed to get along or whatever, but me and Daffy met in prison, and most people don't know. I was on level 2 yard. I was just getting to prison. I came with attitude, and I started out. I went from reception, got into some fights there because of the racial situations with me being white and in a black gang. So the whites wasn't having it. So I had a couple fights and ended up getting locked up into the orientation building until they put me on a bus. They put me in a 16 building after a couple fights, and then someone else got stabbed in the kitchen. But then they sent me to Jamestown. I get to Jamestown now. I was level 1, so level 1, if most people know, you get fire camp. So I'm thinking I'm trying to go to fire camp. But they send me up to Jamestown, and because of the racial situations, the whites end up dropping kites, telling the police that they're gonna stab me. Now, if they wanted to stab me, I'm in a dorm situation. You could have got me anytime. The real situation was I threatened the guy. Who I felt, threatened me, and he went and told my homeboy, my big homie from my hood, who was on the yard, and came back with him. And then was like, look, and I was about to do this dude because I thought, he told me to watch my back. I figured, you threatening me. Well, how else I'm supposed to take that? So the next day, the police called me to the office and tell me that someone dropped kites saying that I was going to be the victim of a stabbing. So they moved me to the hole for the safety and security of the institution. So basically, Snow Rock's going to start a race riot. Get him out of here. So now I get to the hole. I get to the hole in my celly. He, I guess he thought, he thought he was just gonna take my shit. Cause I went to the canteen, I got a little stuff, in the hole, and I'm like, here, man, whatever, and he just starts taking my shit and putting it in his locker. I'm like, man, what you doing? He's like, I'm taking this, punk. And he wasn't even paying me no attention. He just putting stuff in his man, I dove on top of that motherfucker. So, that was my first fight in the hole. Bad situation. I won the fight, but the police fucked me up. They opened up the door, they hit me with the taser. I woke up hogtied in the day room. But so because of that, my points went up, and I went from level 1 to level 2. So they sent me to Chino. As soon as I got off the bus, Chino, it was a white dude that was in the hole in Jamestown. So now he wants, he called me out. So we went up in the bathroom, and it was one on one, we went up in there because it was a couple Crips in there, and the whites were over there. And I was over with the Crips, and the dude's just like, piece of shit. So, everybody looks like, who the hell he talking to, because, and then he's like, yeah, you. And so, ain't no, look, man, we can take it up in the bathroom. So he had size on him too. He was a big boy. So we went up in the bathroom and we was just shooting straight knuckles, shoulder to shoulder, and he had hit me a few times and he had rung my bell, I was dazed, but I didn't stop swinging. And then all of a sudden, I looked around and he was gone and I didn't know where he went because, I'm seeing the little stars, and this dude is knocked out. So then when I realized, I come out the bathroom, all, who's next? Who's next? The other white boy sat down. You know what I mean? They didn't know, didn't nobody else want it because he was the biggest one. So, I go back over where, oh yeah, couple, on these Crips that was in the hole, So now The MTA came by with somebody in a wheelchair, and you got to go through this tank to get to the little medical room. And she sees this fool, you know what I'm saying, feet up in the air and hits the button. So now the police come in, they jack everybody up, and they checking hands. My hands is, you know what I'm saying, banged up, and I got a ooey knot right here. I've been hit a few times. So they immediately pull my file. Once they pull that, oh yeah, he's a Crip. No, 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 no. Look, we gonna get you on a bus and get you out of here. We ain't even gonna write you up and give you no extra points for the fight. We just gonna get you out of here. Okay. I don't know no better. I'm just, I'm saying, hey, I got time to do wherever you put me. That's where I got to do it, right? So Chino don't want a race ride, and they figure, they put me on the yard, it's going down. So they shoot me, to Chuckawalla. They put me in Cypress on the third tier for like a week, like 4 days, 5 days. And then they call me, roll your shit up, you're getting on the bus. Put me on the bus, send me to Chuckawalla. I was in, So now I end up meeting my boy Daffy. And it wasn't, we met, okay, we cool, because I gamble, I play cards for money. I ain't got nobody sending me nothing, so I got to hustle, So I'm a hustler. So, whatever I could do to make $1, I'm on it. And my bunkie, he had headphones and music, so, it was cool, So I was borrowing tapes from people in the dorm to listen to him on my bunkie's headphones on his Walkman, and that's how I met this dude Daffy. He had the music. So, I would get cassette tapes. Let me borrow this tape. Let me borrow this tape. And it's like, I'm responsible. If anything happens to this, I'll take care of it. I'm responsible. So the dude, seen I took care of his shit, always brought it back, and he was good with me, So even though he was from Hoover, because I'm like, I heard about, how it is and how the Hoovers, and hoods don't get along. But, I'm not a part of that. I met the dude and he was cool. Okay, he let me use a couple tapes a couple times. I was only there for like 2 months. And then I ended up getting into it with some other people. But the dude, before it went down, Daffy gave me a knife and told me that it's going down tonight. So I was prepared and I was able to get through. So that was big, but I didn't see this dude again because I ended up going to the hole and ended up with a shoe program and on and on. But I didn't see him again, and then I came home. I got out of prison in 2006. So when I got out of prison in 2006, I got into a drug program, trying to get myself together. Ain't got no family left. I'm on my own, so I'm starting over, trying to make it. And I just got out after doing 12 years straight. So, I ended up meeting up with my friend, and he had a low rider. He was in a car club. So I'm hanging out with the car club, and guess who I see? Daffy. Daffy is in a car club with my homeboys. So, it was a good thing, man. Daff became my best friend, my dog. I miss him, this is dedicated to you, Daff, I'm gonna get Minion back on the road too, and it's for Gracie. As soon as she gets old enough. But so anyway, the Hoover and the hood thing, again, I'm from San Diego. That's the LA thing. I don't have no problem with nobody from Hoover, if you ain't got no problem with me. So, I don't think that'd be an issue, but it depends on the person. It depends on the situation. It depends on a lot of things, but the thing that matters most is it depends on me, and I'm not going to facilitate no BS on my end. Believe that. But your boy out here living life, and it keeps getting better. Check me out.
I hit the streets, I'm happy just to be alive. Survived 2 decades, had to fight just to survive. No family left out here, I walk this road alone. Can't deal with things like I did with the Stones. Prison days are over, now it's time for a new start. The streets are different,